The jungle is a world of its own. It's a place where nature is king, and humans are just visitors. My team and I, we were deep inside its green heart. The air was thick, heavy with the smell of damp earth and wild blossoms. Every step was a challenge. We had to cut our way through thick vines and push past giant leaves. We were here for a reason, a serious one. A small plane, a single-engine prop, had vanished over this unforgiving wilderness weeks ago. No signal, no wreckage, nothing. Our mission was to find it, to bring answers to the families waiting back home. It was a tough job, but someone had to do it. Survival out here is about teamwork. You need to trust the person next to you with your life. I had my best people with me. There was Sam, our navigation expert, a man who could read the land like a book. Then there was Chloe, our medic and tech specialist, brilliant with gadgets and even better under pressure. And me? Well, I was there to lead them, to make the tough calls and keep us safe. We moved as one unit, our eyes scanning every inch of the dense undergrowth. The jungle watches you, you see. You can feel it. Every rustle in the leaves could be a snake. Every shadow could hide a predator. We had to stay sharp, stay focused on our goal. The heat was relentless. Sweat poured down our faces, stinging our eyes. The sun barely broke through the thick canopy of trees above, but its power was immense. We drank water constantly, knowing that dehydration is a silent killer in these environments. We had been trekking for days, following the plane's last known flight path. The terrain was brutal, steep hills, muddy ravines, and rivers teeming with life you wouldn't want to meet. Hope was starting to wear thin, like an old rope frayed by the elements. Finding a small plane in this vast green ocean felt like searching for a single grain of sand on a beach. But you can never give up. That's the first rule of survival. The moment you let despair creep in, you're lost. We kept pushing forward, one difficult step at a time. We checked our maps, conferred on our route, and kept our spirits up with small talk and shared rations. We knew the odds were against us. The jungle doesn't give up its secrets easily. It swallows things whole, hiding them under layers of green. We were determined to peel back those layers to find what we came for, no matter how long it took or what dangers we had to face along the way. Just as our morale was hitting a low point, we stumbled upon something impossible. Standing in a small, overgrown clearing was a house, an old wooden house, right in the middle of nowhere. It was weathered and worn, with vines climbing its walls like green snakes. The roof was sagging in places and the windows were dark and empty, like vacant eyes staring out into the jungle. It was a shocking sight. Who would build a house out here, so far from civilization? It didn't make any sense. The structure looked like it had been abandoned for years, a forgotten relic swallowed by the wild. Our curiosity got the better of us. We approached cautiously, our senses on high alert. This was an anomaly, something that didn't belong, and in the jungle, the unexpected is often dangerous. The front door was slightly ajar, creaking softly in the breeze. I pushed it open and a wave of musty air hit us. Inside, the house was a mess. Dust covered everything like a grey blanket. Cobwebs hung from the ceiling like ghostly chandeliers. Furniture was overturned and papers were scattered across the floor. It was clear someone had left in a hurry, or perhaps something had forced them out. We decided this was our best lead yet. We had to search the place. "All right, team," I said. "Let's be systematic. We'll clean as we go. We don't know what we might find." We started by clearing the main room. Chloe carefully swept the dust and debris into piles, while Sam righted a fallen table and chairs. It was slow, painstaking work. We had to be careful not to disturb anything that might be a clue. Every item, every scrap of paper, could hold a piece of the puzzle. The silence in the house was eerie, broken only by the sounds of our work and the distant calls of the jungle birds. As we worked, a strange feeling washed over me. It felt like we were intruding on someone's life, sifting through the remnants of a forgotten story. What happened to the people who lived here? Why did they choose this isolated spot? The house held secrets, I was sure of it. As we cleared away the years of neglect, the place started to feel less like a ruin and more like a home that had been frozen in time. We were no longer just looking for a plane. We were now also trying to solve the mystery of this strange, lonely house hidden deep within the jungle. The breakthrough came from Chloe. She was carefully sorting through a pile of old books and papers on a dusty shelf when she found it. Tucked inside a large, leather-bound book was a small handheld video camera. It was an older model, but it looked well protected by the book's thick pages. "Bear, Sam, come look at this!" she called out, her voice filled with excitement. We rushed over. "A camera out here?" This could be it. This could be the clue we'd been desperately searching for. My heart started to pound a little faster. This was the first real sign that we were on the right track. Chloe, our tech expert, immediately got to work. "The battery is dead, obviously," she said, her fingers flying as she worked. "But the memory card looks intact. Let me see if I can power it up with my portable battery pack." We watched with bated breath as she connected a series of wires. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the small screen flickered to life. A wave of relief washed over us. It worked. Now came the most important part. What was on it? Chloe navigated to the video files. There was only one clip, dated just a few weeks ago. She pressed play. The footage was shaky, clearly filmed by someone in a panic. It showed the jungle canopy from below, a view from the clearing right outside the house. Then we heard it, the unmistakable sound of a struggling plane engine. The camera whipped upwards, and there it was, a small plane, the same model as the one we were looking for, flying dangerously low. It was sputtering, trailing black smoke. The person holding the camera was breathing heavily, their fear palpable even through the small speakers. We were watching the final moments of the flight we had been sent to investigate. It was a chilling, surreal experience. Then it happened. The plane's engine cut out completely. It dipped sharply, disappearing behind the tree line just beyond the clearing. A few seconds of tense silence followed, and then the sky lit up with a brilliant, terrible orange flash, a huge explosion. A plume of black smoke rose into the air, a dark stain against the blue sky. The video ended abruptly. We stood there in stunned silence, the images burned into our minds. We had just witnessed the crash. The person who lived in this house saw it all. But where were they now? And what else did they know? The discovery of the video footage changed everything. It was a grim confirmation of the plane's fate, but it also gave us a new sense of purpose. We now knew for certain that we were in the right area. As Chloe rewound the footage, Sam, who had continued searching the bookshelf, let out a sharp gasp. "Guys, look at this." He had pulled out a large folded map from the same leather-bound book that had hidden the camera. It was a detailed topographical map of the surrounding jungle, hand-drawn with incredible precision. It was far more detailed than any of our official charts. He carefully unfolded it on the table we had cleared earlier. Our eyes were immediately drawn to a small red X marked on the map. It was located in a valley a few miles north of our current position. The location matched the direction the plane had been heading in the video. "This has to be it," Sam said, his voice low with certainty. "This is the crash site." It was an incredible piece of luck, a map leading us directly to our objective. The person who lived here not only witnessed the crash, but had also pinpointed its exact location. This was the key we needed. My gaze drifted across the old yellowed paper of the map. I noticed something on the back. "Hold on," I said, carefully turning it over. There, written in faded blue ink, was a short handwritten note. The handwriting was neat, almost elegant. It was a simple, direct message, but the words sent a shiver down my spine. It read, "If you find this, the answers are not at the crash. Check the garage." The garage? We all exchanged puzzled looks. We had seen a small, dilapidated outbuilding behind the house, which we had assumed was a shed or a garage. Suddenly, the jungle outside seemed darker, more menacing. The mystery had deepened. Why would the answers not be at the crash site? What could possibly be in that old, rickety garage that was more important than the wreckage of an entire airplane? 100 questions raced through my mind. Who wrote this note, and what did they want us to find? A new kind of suspense filled the air, thick and heavy. Our mission had shifted once more. We were no longer just looking for a plane crash. We were following a trail of clues left by a mysterious stranger, leading us toward an unknown secret hidden in the garage.